Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer mom of twins, 3 crazy rescue dogs, a rescue cat, and 4 rescue guinea pigs who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to learn ASL, and is trying to train for Iron Man. Welcome. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and we could all use that. If you're returning, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. We have just finished Super Bowl 2023. I'm trying to get this in because tomorrow is a busy day. So I figured it would be easier just to stay up a few minutes. Well, okay, we all know my track record with that. That it would be that I could stay up tonight, upload it overnight, and you guys would be able to start your lovely week off with my face. Okay, so we actually I took kind of a down week for me. I got tons of stuff done for the office. I have tons more to do. But I did not sign up for extra hours or anything else like that. I did a little bit of observation hours. But really and truly, I took a deep breath, y'all. And as you all know, I've needed that. I have started, in this last week, we started, Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives and I have started to kind of check in with each other as far as cleaning and organizing. I tackled my Tupperware cupboard. Y'all, we all have one. You know what I'm talking about. It was a hot mess. It was driving me nuts. It was stressing me out. So the other day, I took all of the pieces out and I matched up lids and I matched up old containers, and things that didn't match went into the trash. I have a couple more things. I'm trying to find the bottoms too because they're the really nice Tupperware lids. So hopefully in the next couple days I have those in a little stack. Otherwise, nice or not, they're going in the garbage because they don't have anything to match, and that makes no sense to keep them. What else did we do? We finally went through all the village pieces, and all of the village pieces we're gonna pass along a few, and the rest of the Christmas bins, for the most part, I think went out into the shed finally. My ex-husband was released from the hospital, so I picked him up. That was a interesting escapade, and now my living room is been rearranged again. So, this next week I have a couple court cases. I have a lot of stuff going on this next week. So again, I don't know what my stitching levels will be at. We'll just take it from where it is. Okay. So today was a Super Bowl, and I played my little Super Bowl game. I don't. So what I did is I assigned each team a piece, and if they were winning that next at the end of the quarter, I would stitch their assigned piece. If the score was tied, I worked on during the halftime. I worked on the sing-a-song sampler, which I am doing a sal along with Tina Frazier. Hi, Tina. So ended up being the first 2 quarters. There was a tie. I don't know how this happened. It kept happening. And so the sing-a-song sampler was in play for the first 2 quarters and the halftime show. By the way, Fox, y'all need to do better with your closed captioning. Yeah. It's the national anthem. We all know the damn words. We all know them. Why were they not on the screen? And when the military came out and the sergeant at arms, said, "Halt," the closed captioning should not have said "pools." Yeah. And that is why we need interpreters, and closed captioning, but we need interpreters. Yes. Okay. And I couldn't find the halftime interpreters during halftime. So apparently I have to track them down on a different channel or different app and try and watch. I am just, it's not access. It's not equal access if that's what you have to do. It is ridiculous. And the fact that one out of probably every 5 lines of the national anthem was even closed captioned, and even at that, it was wrong, is infuriating. Infuriating to me. So, okay. So I worked on the sing-a-song sampler cell. I am color converting, kind of based on the picture by Jan Hicks and another creator, kind of doing my own thing. Because we all know I don't ever, yeah. We all know me and how I do things. So when we started, I think I had dough in and part of the red square. So I mean, because I was also cooking dinner and doing stuff, and I ended up tonight taking a couple client calls during the Super Bowl. That's the kind of lawyer I am. So we have dough. So I have to put in but the wording is done. Pictures. Let me take the picture out because at least then you won't get the glare off the bag. This is my Silver Creek sampler. It is a 4-part series. I fell in love with it when I saw Aaron from Two Martini Stitchers stitching it, actually. Okay, so I have the dough and I have the border part because the border doesn't go along the bottom. It's the grass there. I have all of the words done. Oh, all of the words done. So I had to do the dough and the flowers underneath. And then I'll do all of the wording on the bottom probably all at once. So yeah. Now this is not on my WhipGo board. It is because it is a newer start. It did not even make it into my 52 card whip pickup. So when we see this again, I'm not Sundays because Tina is planning on this is our Sunday stitch. So I will try and work on this for at least 1 hour every Sunday until it is done. Overall, I'm really pleased with my progress on it. But wait, there is more. The only haul I got this week, I got some yarn to make Bruno a crocheted blanket because, Bruno doesn't have enough stuff coming from me. And I got some DMC. That was it. Okay. So one of my WhipGo pulls is the Space Cell. This is by Climbing Goats Designs. This is from 2021. Don't judge. We don't judge here. I should back up. Before I show you this, hang on a second. Okay. So my 2 pieces that I was going to work on during the Super Bowl, depending on who was working, was Anne Frank and Patio Krabby. So the first 2 quarters were tie, so I worked on Sing a Song. The next 2 quarters, the Chiefs were in charge. And the Chiefs were assigned Anne Frank. It was random luck. So I did work on Anne Frank. So her hand, so coming in, I had done her dress, like the red part of her dress. So I got her collar in, her buttons, her book, and her desk. This is one of the pieces that I'm going to push for a finish for this year. There is no reason. It's almost done. Like yeah. This is what it will look like. So I have to do the other plane and then the flowers and then really just this part down here, which is still a lot, don't get me wrong, but not nearly what it was. This was also my, Anne Frank was also my focus piece this week for 52 card pickup. So she did see lots of great progress this week. And again, that is one that if I push a little, it would get done this year. Okay. So now, the space cell. I finally figured out how to get this into Pattern Keeper. I stitch a lot fast, especially when something is confetti heavy like these are. I stitch a lot faster when it's on Pattern Keeper. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Okay. So, in fact, I did get Jupiter done. And I started on Earth. We decided I didn't need to go in the order in which the cell came out. The cell is finished. So I could just kind of go closer. I could kind of go as I want. So she decided that Earth needed to be next. So we are over here working on Earth. Believe it or not, it is almost done. Look at my whip go board. You'd think I'm new at this. I'm really not. I still have 3 more days of stitching on this for WhipGo this month. So Earth should definitely be finished in those 3 days, provided that they're decent stitching days. We'll see. And then it's not on my WhipGo board again. It is still in my 52 cards as a project to pull. Okay. Oh, there's still more. Because one of the things I did do this week was I took some downtime. I just, like, if y'all saw, like, the one day I had there's a picture on my Instagram of the papers that I generated for clients, and it was a good inch or so thick of stuff. And so honestly, yeah. Okay. So I did actually want to work a little bit on patio crabbing. And my thought was that if he got called, it would be a lot easier and it would get more done during the quarter if I had like the outlines that I just had to fill in. So I did take him to class, I think, and I worked on him during my break. So this is as wide as he gets. That's his entire body. So his hat will rest in here. And again, I don't have the picture, I'm sorry. So I have my working copy in my bag. I don't have the actual pattern. So he still has his hat, and then he's got a little bit of like sand down here. And I've got to put in his little black eyeballs. But like a lot of it, like this is just all fill in with the exception of like 8 stitches of black that go in here. It's all red fill in. And then his hat is just, so this is another one of those that it's still in my 52 card whip pickup. And with a little effort, this is another one that we will see finished this year. We will. Because enough is enough with Escape. With this foolishness of putting these, enough. Okay, so Monopoly. Monopoly is my other piece that got called this month for WhipGo. We still owe Monopoly, according to this, 7 days. That doesn't seem right. But this is the only time it is on my... Y'all, I'm a freaking idiot. So Monopoly is on here twice on my board. For this square and for this square. This square was called. This square is not. No wonder. According to this, I have either worked on it 6 days or 3 and crossed it off of both the same square of each each day off of both squares. So now I need to go through my pictures and try and figure that out. So, but the good news is Monopoly will get called one more time this year. Plus my 52 card whip pickup. No, it did get called for 52 card whip pickup. So it just has, after I figure out my days, either 3 or 6, it will have another 10 days after that. But I got the one side all the way in and started on that. I turned the corner, and this side is already. Okay, wait. Let me. Good God. Okay, so here's where go is. This is the jail, which in my case will be the practice room. So that is the go directly to jail square. To be honest, I would really like to make this another push for a finish this year because I would really like to be able to give it to my son for Christmas. We made some really good progress there. And clearly I need to, yeah, we don't judge on my channel. Well, we judge. We judge a lot on my channel. Who am I kidding? We do. We do. We just don't judge people for the amount of whips they have or for miscounting. Those aren't two things we judge about. We judge about other stuff. Okay. The next one up is his name is Jesus. I am doing this as a gift for my dear friend Tammy. She knows it's coming, so this is not a surprise. Generally, I work on this on Thursday nights when I see Tammy. However, I worked on it anyways, even though Tammy wasn't able to make Stitchy Group for very much, and that's okay. But I made it all the way across the top, y'all. So it actually ends here. So I for sure will have enough fabric to do the other two as well. So we're going to get those. I will need more floss. I for sure will need more floss. On my lovely floss drops that Tammy made me. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to still need more floss. So I'm going to have to order some from Ymir because I am using her skin tones, which are getting blown out. Her skin tone silks, which are just, they're like stitching on with butter. They're just so wonderful. And then if I add my thread wax from Hillbilly Candle Company, it's amazing. And just so you all know, Jesus smells like a root beer float. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. But Jesus, oh, and space smells like sugar cookies. And I'm telling you all that if for no other reason, get yourself some thread wax from Hillbilly Candle Company in a scent that you absolutely love and that just brings you joy because it will make those hard stitches just a little bit more enjoyable because you'll have the aromatherapy from your thread wax and it's just glorious. Okay, so again, this is a free pattern. I don't remember who the pattern maker's name is. We are at, I want to say like 20% done. I think so. So we'll keep plugging away at that. Like I said, generally this is my Thursday night stitch. Or if Tammy and the girls and I stitch via Zoom, this is the one I pull out. Unless like when we get together for the Loads of Love sale, then obviously I work on that one. I need to stop shopping when I'm stressed. Just so you guys know. Because I bought more yarn to make Bruno stuff. I feel like I have stuff everywhere again. And every time I try to quell the beast, it just doesn't work. Okay, so this is my other project that I have felt I've just wanted to work on it. And sometimes when I want to work on something, I don't like whatever. If I It doesn't matter what the whip go is. Sometimes I just need to stitch on what I want to stitch on without the pressure of whip go or whatever, and that's okay. Um, that's so weird. Oh, duh. Some days, y'all. Some days. Okay, so what is that? That is the Hillbilly. This is Rosie by Hillbilly. The picture is from the Hillbilly Candle Company, and I converted it into a chart, and I am stitching this. And we are now at, I don't remember. I don't remember. I think we're at 5%. I could be wrong. Hold, please. Talk amongst yourselves. I know how chatty you all are. Okay, while that's booting up, I'll show you what I did. So this is all the way down now. And this is all the way across, y'all. Do you think I could have cut those margins just a little bit closer? And because, look at this. Y'all, seriously. I could have moved that down and been a much safer margin up on top, too. Did I? No. Why didn't I? I don't know. Because I'm Kelly, and that's not what I do. How cute is that? Because you know what this is? This is the front grill of Rosie. That's the sun. Can't you tell? I don't know why you can't tell. Okay, so let's see. Might help if I tapped in my password right. Dance. Dance break. Um, so yeah, Bobby this week is, I think, working on her pantry. She cleaned out her one bathroom, and now she's doing her pantry. I did the Tupperware closet cupboard. The Tupperware cupboard was a crazy mess. I think I may try and tackle the under the cabinet, the under the sink. So we're at 6.02%. It has a total of 63,240 stitches. Now, does that mean, I think it actually had 66 or 67,000, because I don't know that Pattern Keeper, um, like, I think when you stitch the stitch, it counts it in your total count stitch, which is fine. I've stitched 3,806 stitches on it. I think it takes it out of the grand total number. So what I thought I would do is, okay, so I have it highlighted. There we go. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so all of the highlighted green there is all 310. It's all 310. So I think what I'm going to do is focus on just stitching the 310. Because I can cut off a hank, like several yards of the, like, pieces of this, and just carry this in the 310 versus carrying this and all of this. Plus, if I recall, there's like one or two random stitches that are on the chart that that were too far over to count to, because I don't have easy gridded fabric. I think by finishing the 310, first of all, that's 13,406 stitches of 310 left. I think I'll be able to then count in those random weird 1 or 2 offs, which would be really nice. Because I have a couple of those where I like have 7 stitches or I have 4 stitches, and I'm like, really? I don't think on this one and because of that, there's several of them that have like less than 10 stitches. There's like a dozen to 2 dozen of them that have less than 20 stitches, but because of where they are and I can't count off of anything, I can't put them in, but that would be really nice to have them. I actually have completed 1 color out of all of them. So I have 1 color completed. So that's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. I'm going to take that as a win. Because life is short not to take them. Take every win you can, where you can. So we're going to take that for a win. I have 1 color completed. And now I'm going to focus on 310. And clearly it really does need a bigger bag, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so what else did I stitch? Oh wait, there's a little bit more. 2 more. I worked on the Loads of Love cell that I'm stitching with Tammy and Kim in the gang. Let me see if I have a picture. I do not have a picture of the Loads of Love cell. I lied. That's not true at all. I do have a picture of it. Me and Lola. Okay. I don't know if you, there you go. That is the Loads of Love cell. It is by Shannon Christine. When I finish that, then I will do the hands-on design freebie that says "Love You Too." I got the little truck done. I have the little truck done. So now we're working on filling up the bed of the truck, and then there's a flower. There's 2 flowers, the words "Loads of Love," and then there's the 3 quote blocks. And I'm not sure if I'm going to stitch the quote blocks, to be honest with you. So we'll see. But I'm not there yet, so that's okay. I don't have to know yet. Soon I will have to know. Soon I will need to know, but today is not that day. So I'm not going to worry about it. Wait, there's one more. Okay. As most of you know, I am working on a set of ABC blocks that will include fingerspelled words as well as English alphabet, and then a picture. Now my pictures of words, like A word, B word, C word, are not traditional pictures, and that's okay. I did also figure out how I could do the braille dots, but I haven't figured out if I'm going to do that. And then if I do, what I would just do is probably pick out the little letter A and put them there. So we have A in finger spelling because I think that's really important. We have a capital A, and we have an axolotl. How cute is that? When you see him really close up, though, he looks like he's just a hot mess, and you're like, what in the world? But when you pull him back a little bit, he's so cute. So A is for axolotl. I have the stuffing. I think I have the fabric I'm going to use for like the top and bottom. So it will be a cube. In fact, I know I do. I found it the other day at Joann's, and it says "You are loved very much." It's got a big bear and a little bear, and I just find it absolutely adorable. And so, I think I'm going to use that for them. Oh, I'm sorry, it's late. I'm old. I'm tired. So my goal is to have those. The next one to do. So I've got to decide: am I going to do little a or am I going to do braille A? And I'm kind of leaning towards braille A. Which means I've got to take out little a to put braille A there. And then I will start working on B. For me, the picture for B is blue-footed booby, because that's the best B word ever. It's the best bird ever. It's my favorite bird. Well, bees are flamingos and penguins, but I think a blue-footed booby or a flamingo, but B worked. So the other thing I worked on is Bruno's little first of at least 2 sweaters that I am knitting. I'm gonna have to learn how to block as well because this is just a hot mess. Y'all, it's so pretty in person and it's so cute. But I did finish the sleeve. He has a sleeve. He has a little ribbing on the bottom. I have to do the second sleeve. They don't take that long if I get a good chunk of time knitting. And then there's a band that goes up and around for the collar. And then once that is done, we can start sweater number 2. Or the little shoes that I had the pattern for, or some of the rattles, or the other crochet blanket. And I bought the fabric to make the Jeep blanket. We don't judge. We don't judge. Okay. So, plans going forward this next week. To continue to work on WIPGO. The tablet was talking to me randomly. Okay. The goal of the week is to finish projects, not to start new ones. Because again, when Kelly is stressed, Kelly starts new projects or buys the supplies for more projects. Kelly does not need any more freaking projects. Okay, so the focus for cleaning this area this next week is underneath the sink, all the cleaning supplies and stuff like that. Because right now, the garbage bags, the box of garbage bags is sitting outside of the cabinet. Why? I don't know. I don't know. And if I need to go buy some clamps to clamp the door fronts on there, then we're buying the clamps. And getting that taken care of as well. Hi, Bean. Bean is eating a cookie. Bean's nickname should be Cookie Monster. I love a Diet Coke. So, WIPGO goals, makeup days on Lady of the Flag, the other sleeve, clean underneath the cabinet, and get the doors on the drawer fronts on, even if we have to go buy cabinet clips, clamps, because I think that's part of the problem, or was part of the problem. And to get at least 10 observation hours in. And if we can, to make the iron-ons for the stack of onesies and t-shirts over here. And that would be beautiful. And if I could get that all done, that would be a small miracle. Because Tuesday is Valentine's Day. Yeah. I'm actually doing surprisingly well, considering that Tuesday is Valentine's Day. And I did FFO a couple things, believe it or not. One of them is sitting up here. My little magnet, I didn't glue it right and it popped off, but I hit it wrong when it was still kind of not fully set. So I have to put the magnet back on. And because it's going to be a magnet on the refrigerator, I didn't fully finish it on the, like I didn't put felt or anything. I probably should. This should have gone to my Stitchy, like my Jeep sister. But I kind of feel like now it's February and she got the rest of her box from Amazon. So I'm not going to worry about it. And who doesn't love so I'm just going to use it as a magnet on my refrigerator. And then I finished the 2, I FFO'd the 2 sheep. So they will go where they need to go. Yeah. Okay. So we have WIPGO. We have Lady of the Flag is the extra We'll be knitting, maybe some crochet. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see what's... So our next up card is the Ace of Hearts. If you're playing along with 52 card Wake Up. For me, that is the map for William, for the boy child. It's another game piece. That's the Roll Your Own Adventure. That is a lot. Is that going to be done this year? You know, potentially, honestly, it could. It could be one of those after I finish with some of these other little ones that I could probably push to finish depending on how much stuff we put on the map, if that makes sense. So, we'll see. But we're making good progress. I'm surprised that I've been able to keep up with as much as I have, but we are, and we're making a dent in things. Tomorrow is my day for Pixie at class. I have my little candies. I have to print out my little Valentines and ASL and cut those. That should take me 2 seconds. Can't think of anything else. I don't know. So I'm going to actually let you guys go. I'm going to go to bed. I will see you next week. I hope you all have a wonderful week. If you need anything from me, please feel free to reach out. I'm his Princess Kelly on Instagram. And yeah, or drop me a note and we'll go from there. If there's anything I can do, like I said, just reach out. And otherwise, have a great, safe, healthy, happy week. Bye. See you guys next week.